Botticelli exhibition was so beautiful. It is the first time that I see paintings that are so old, yet they look so fresh, like they had been painted last week. In the middle of the pandemic, it brought a different perspective on time, on what lasts and what will pass.
There's a period in history that is highly inspiring. Its name literally means rebirth. That is the Renaissance. I'm very proud that FIF, First Initiative Foundation, has worked as the community partner for the Botticelli and His Times masterworks from the Uffizi exhibition that took place at the Hong Kong Museum of Art from the fall of 2020 to the spring of 2021. That is, throughout one of the major early waves of the COVID-19 pandemic. For us, it was our way to help Hong Kong bounce back and to deliver the message that these are challenging times, but together we'll get through this.
Hong Kong has one of the most iconic skylines in the world and a unique urban character. But being the 8th most densely populated city globally, there is no luxury of space. So when it comes to building upon the history, architects and designers have to be creative to take us into the future.
香港係一個好特別嘅城市咧，有山有水，中西合璧，又有外國文化，又有香港文化，又有中國嘅文化。我哋好特別嘅電車100年嘅歷史啊，有纜車啊，有山頂望到好靚嘅海啊。我覺得香港每個地方都可以係一個拍取景嘅地方。
呢段時間都大家冇得去旅行啦，咁但係頭先睇個 museum 嘅時候咧，真係有少少覺得自己去咗意大利嘅，去咗外國嘅 museum 嘅，咁呢個好夢幻嘅感覺，我覺得真係好好玩。 即係以前你從教科書上面睇啦、歷史書上面睇啦，即係文藝復興好似係好一個 standard 嚟嘅。咁但係咧，你今次睇翻多啲 reference 咧，你就見到多啲人性化嘅東西咯。
Well, of course, Hong Kong has a relatively short history as compared to other countries, but we do have roots in our Chinese civilization. If we look back to our own roots, as well as to look at the civilizations around the world, we will be able to adopt a broader perspective to see where we are today and to enable us to be more forthcoming and positive about the future.
Hi. 去教育同埋去鼓勵我哋嘅下一代，因為下一代其實就係我哋嘅將來。
FIF, First Initiative Foundation, is a Hong Kong-based registered charity that supports and organizes local initiatives to benefit the arts, culture, and education. We are committed to the value of giving and uplifting the Hong Kong community at large. We strive relentlessly to bring the best of the world to Hong Kong and to promote our own unique culture on the world stage.
咁我相信呢樣嘢係令到個社會裏邊係更加容納到好多有才，或者係可以招攬到更加有才華嘅朋友嘅。咁對我嚟講，我覺得藝術嘅培育呢係真係好重要嘅，因為呢個可以係訓練到一個人嘅修為啦，亦都係可以呢係令到喺唔同嘅地方、唔同嘅國家都係一種溝通嘅文化嚟嘅。
Music is one of our fortes, so to speak, as we have been conducting music-related programs since our very beginning. For instance, we joined hands with the world-renowned pianist Lang Lang to select 2 students every 2 years from the music festival. They then have the opportunity to attend Lang Lang Foundation's summer camp with music students from across the world, attend master classes and also perform alongside the star pianist.
We also offer other scholarships for deserving students at world-class institutions, such as Manhattan School of Music, Hong Kong Academy of Performing Arts, and many others. And during multiple events, we give these gifted musicians a chance to perform on various stages.
I was really fortunate to get into the scholarship. With that scholarship, I went to Chicago to play with an orchestra, and I also went to Paris to play with Mr. Lang Lang, and it was really brilliant.
Tonight I'll be playing Nocturne, Opus 19, number 4 by Tchaikovsky. I chose it because I think it's very lyrical and the melody is beautiful.
Well, I think my favorite part of the Lang Lang Scholarship is the opportunity to travel around the world and share classical music with people who otherwise wouldn't be able to hear it. And I really like it when I'm able to show them that classical music can be just as fulfilling as other types of music. And I'm really, really thankful for the First Initiative Foundation for giving me this opportunity.
FIF regularly sponsors music masterclasses. Those are unique opportunities for local artists and the public to learn from and interact with world-renowned performers. 牛牛我第一次識佢嗰陣時係佢嗰陣時10歲，咁佢已經好有天才㗎啦。我就覺得有啲機會俾一啲後輩嘅喺呢個平台上可以發揮下咧，係一個好好嘅機會咯。
I first got to know Michelle in 2009 when I attended one of her events in Hong Kong, organized by her foundation at the time called Music First. And a few years later, she formed the FIF, and I was the supporting artist ever since then. And I'm so happy and appreciate that Miss Michelle Ong and FIF have been supporting me and care about me for the past 10 years, which was really, really important for my career and also for my life. I think one of their important mission is to work in a fun and inclusive and family-like environment. This is very important because it doesn't isolate anyone. We are all working together in a really friendly environment and really encourages all the young talent. I personally was helped by so many great human beings like Miss Michelle and all the other wonderful professors. And I really, really want to pass on all that care that was passed on to me on to the next generation, because I think this is how the art gets passed on and this is how the legacy gets continued.
Much better. You don't need all that power. Can you decrescendo on that pitch? Yeah. Da 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 da. Are we still listening? Yes, we are. Have fun with it.
Il fonde, il bosco, e vicino la fattoria.
Thank you very much.
FIF also supports Hong Kong heritage arts such as Cantonese opera, traditional paper cutting, calligraphy, as well as contemporary artistic talents such as installation artists, graffiti artists, and more. We also celebrate great achievers, public personalities, and artists such as FIF Youth Ambassador Eason Chan, film director Anne Hui, who is one of the most critically acclaimed filmmakers in Hong Kong, and many others. Our approach to education is a little different. We believe that education is imparted not only through lectures, but also through fun and engaging out-of-classroom activities, whether it is music, arts, or culture. In line with this joy of learning philosophy, in 2018, we organized the Meet the T-Rex exhibition, a very first for Hong Kong, featuring an authentic T-Rex fossil measuring more than 40 feet long and 12 feet high, with 6 interactive checkpoints, all across a reputed mall in Hong Kong. By organizing it in a public space rather than a museum, the initiative focused on the accessibility of interactive learning experiences for one and all.
當你真係真身可以見到咁大個模型嘅時候，即係個展覽嘅時候，哇！你嗰個感受係好唔一樣。
It was wonderful. We could see the T-Rex another time in our life, and it's just beautiful.
今次又係我哋第一次見到真嘅暴龍化石。
見到咁大隻恐龍好真咁啊！哇，好啊，就係想摸下佢嘅啲真骨頭。
The main thing is that paleontology, the study of the history of life, is basic human knowledge. So from that point of view, there's people have a natural curiosity to it, and therefore it's important that way. But I think, because it has so much capacity to inspire people, I think for me that's a key part of things. If you can inspire people in whatever way possible, they will end up doing things and being more creative.
I think any learning experience is important to anyone. You're not just hearing information from other people, you're actually experiencing it yourself. People get to interact, and it's really important for nowadays, since technology is so advanced and everyone you don't even have to touch each other to communicate. So I think it's really important for nowadays family, or young and old, yeah. It's more real.
亦都可以令到藝術呢樣嘢可以薪火相傳咯。
We were also the community and education partner for the Claude Monet exhibition at the Hong Kong Heritage Museum in Sha Tin.
我個印象咧係有一幅Monet 嘅喺裏面嘅，係我覺得係令我即係大開眼界咯。咁當其時我都唔認識 Impressionism， 唔知道即係究竟係咩回事嘅。咁但係 嗰幅畫係令我即係好似吸咗入去裡面。咁故此咧，我就喺 following summer 咧就去咗一個 cruise 嘅，咁就係其中一個 excursion 就係可以去咗個Giverny 嘅 museum， 咁我就可以令到我就係覺得原來係一個咁美麗嘅一種油畫嘅方式咯。咁再加埋咧就係之後 FIF 咧，亦都係有一個 Monet 嘅 exhibition 啦。
I remembered the first time when I went to Paris, I saw Monet painting right in front of me. I was so touched, and I immediately think about the impressionist music that related to the paintings, and I was so inspired. When I play particular music, I would imagine the colors, the paintings I've seen, or create my own pictures and the colors. I think imagination is very important for artists.
可以令到你嗰個思考嘅技術嗰個係會擴闊好多好多，好似去咗一個時光機咁。
Over the years, we have organized many other events.
Music and arts might not be the solution to all the problems, but I think it is a very important function into that. It gets to people's heart. And it can heal the soul.
Your support for young musicians makes me incredibly happy because they're our future. They're the ones who will carry the torch of creativity and of innovation to everyone who runs our various countries.
我覺得民間有私人嘅基金會或者家族基金會嚟到贊助個藝術係好事嘅，因為每一個基金會佢都有自己啲諗法嘅。譬如呢個好想做培養藝術家，呢個做教育，呢個做交流咁樣，其實係會令到嗰個城市裏邊個藝術嗰個環境更加多元化咯。
我覺得現代嘅藝術發展或者文化發展啦。唔同類型嘅資金啊，或者基金啊，或者官方又好，私人嘅贊助都仍然係非常之需要嘅。好多時創作係由下而上啦，咁但係你需要一啲資源去到讓人認識有好多創作嘅人喺度努力緊嘅話咧，呢一 part 其實係好需要 support 嘅。
Money for our education programs, we organize fundraising events. Now, we're not talking about your average run-of-the-mill event. The FIF fundraising gala dinners are really works of arts in themselves. They bring Hong Kong's elite to sponsor art and culture. They are the talk of the town, with fun, entertainment, and we also present to our guests culinary art at an unseen level in Hong Kong.
Fundraising can be done through different ways. The way I see it, it is that I strive for perfection. That is my core philosophy. Whether it is an initiative for FIF or my own jewelry brand Carnet, 100% commitment and an equal measure of hard work makes all the difference. We have a great dynamic team and an amazing circle of ambassadors and sponsors. FIF has been running for over 10 years now. I hope that the legacy of FIF will be passed down through generations. I've planted the seed and all my 3 children are fully supportive of our work.
即係由 storybook 去 audiobook 去 workshop， 我哋真係會想去做翻啲 outreach program 啊，俾多啲人去認識到世界各地唔同嘅好嘢咯。咁我都好樂意去做嘅，我覺得 I think 呢樣嘢真係好 worthy。即係我覺得好值得去做呢件事啦。
I started helping FIF when I was a teenager, particularly with design work and doing these galas as an event helper during my school holidays. I took on a really much more active role after I relocated back to Hong Kong 4 years ago. I am now balancing between my role as managing director for FIF and also another full-time corporate job.
佢Amanda 其實好多年嘅領研裏邊，其實佢慢慢都係有去參與同埋幫助嘅。咁呢個正就係一個非常好嘅例子，係點樣將呢個藝術教育承傳嘅過程。正呢一個 project 就可以俾唔同有想法嘅年青人去表達，甚至乎俾佢哋嘗試去實行呢個機會。咁我覺得呢樣嘢好重要，呢個正就係一個我哋現今社會需要嘅一個新動力咯。
Working with my mom can be very challenging, but I'm learning a lot from her. And I can always also count on the Young Committee and my siblings.
I devote a lot of my time and effort to my two passions, FIF, and of course my own jewelry brand Carnet. The foundation is my way of supporting deserving artists in Hong Kong, while Carnet is a narration of my own artistic journey. The name Carnet in French means a small notebook. I keep my creative thoughts and inspirations in a little notebook that I carry at all times. It's very low tech, but it works because creativity is most often in the moment. And I have come to realize that there is no bigger learning than that. It's easy. You either do it with passion or you don't.
The Uffizi Galleries are Italy's flagship museum. It's famous worldwide for the priceless collection of ancient sculptures and paintings. The masters of Italian art from Botticelli, Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, Raffaello, they have all of them. So it's an icon, it's a worldwide icon. And I thought that it's the best ambassador of our culture here in Hong Kong.
The Uffizi is one of the oldest museums in the world. If we speak about galleries nowadays, meaning spaces that have art inside, it's because of this place, this corridor in which we stand right now. In Italian, a corridor was called a gallery, and because of the Uffizi Gallery, the word was actually transferred to all spaces that have any art inside. So here, we're not just in an artistically important place, but even linguistically, this place was seen as so important that it influenced the entire Western civilization's discourse and concept of art and keeping art and museology. It is the one place in the world where we have the highest concentration of masterpieces from the Italian Renaissance, from the humanist period. It was the period when, in fact, global travel by ship started, and Florence was the center for this philosophy centered around learning, centered around research, and in fact, not by coincidence, we have artists like Leonardo, but scientists like Galileo Galilei active in Florence over the period of several hundred years when Florence was really one of the great centers of learning, the greatest center of learning in the Western world for sure during that period. But the Renaissance is very much also about sharing with other people, about sharing with the world. And so For that reason, the Renaissance is in fact also one of the periods that was fundamental for the Illuminist period of the 18th century, and it's very important for today's culture of sharing. So it would not be right to keep these works under lock so nobody could see them. In a global civilization, we have to share them with the world, both through digital means, through our website and social media channels, but also through physical travels, where you can see these works in a different context. Some works cannot travel, you have to come to Florence to see them, but others are in a position to travel, not frequently. We don't let them go very frequently, but this is for sure an extremely rare and first opportunity to see these works in China.
Il Rinascimento si divide normalmente in due periodi, il primo Rinascimento, che è quello che ha visto le sperimentazioni, e la parte del Cinquecento, che è il Rinascimento maturo, con gli artisti che hanno potuto meditare sull'opera dei tre grandi che lavorano all'inizio del Cinquecento, fra 4 e 500, ossia Leonardo, Raffaello e Michelangelo. Il Rinascimento è un periodo straordinario che è quasi come l'apertura di uno scrigno del sapere, di un diffondersi di nozioni e concetti che erano rimasti nascosti a lungo. La cultura nel Medioevo non è mai morta, la cultura ha vissuto soprattutto nei monasteri, nelle grandi biblioteche. Rinascita perché si ritorna all'antico praticamente, si riporta la cultura allora contemporanea, la cultura del primo Quattrocento, alla grandezza che era stata della cultura greca e romana, attraverso lo studio dei testi, attraverso lo studio dei grandi filosofi dell'antichità. Ecco, il Rinascimento, diciamo, mette in pratica questo sapere che si allarga a concepire una vita in cui il motore sia anche la bellezza, ma c'è un percorso dello spirito, cioè un percorso dell'individuo che va dalla forza bruta, dall'ignoranza, dalla materia fino alla spiritualità, per cui si capiscono anche le opere di Botticelli, tipo La palla del centauro, dove la forza bruta è schiacciata dalla sapienza, dall'intelligenza, diciamo, dell'uomo. Anche questo è un messaggio valido tuttora.
Renaissance time, actually the relative of guitar is called lute. It's the major instrument during the Renaissance time. And now, guitar, we can play all the music that was written for lute. For example, my favorite Renaissance composer is John Dowland from England. He was really the master on the instrument.
As a musician, as a music student, when I was at Juilliard in New York, I also spent 2 years studying the Renaissance music. For example, John Ball and William Byrd, all these Renaissance musicians. I think Renaissance means a period of revival. And I think this revival can be happening at any time. I think during this special circumstance of the COVID, it's almost also like a revival. everybody starts to think about music performances differently. So I think this renaissance is really worth us to study and to feel. And then we can be inspired and get to know how to move forward in a very creative way.
This exhibition is very important to me also because it marks the 50th anniversary of bilateral relations between Italy and China. And I think there is a millennial friendship within the two countries, and I think there is a lot to share of our cultures.
China and Italy have been in contact since many centuries. By the end of the 13th century, Marco Polo, a young Italian traveler and merchant, went to China, lived there for 25 years, and then came back to Italy and writing about that. Fast forward, we are now in 1583 when Michele Ruggieri and Matteo Ricci, two Jesuit missionaries, established the first Catholic residence in China, bringing not only religious teaching, but also European Renaissance, its philosophy, culture, and arts. They brought back to Europe, bringing Chinese culture and Confucianism known to European readers. And then, at the same time, in Macau, Alessandro Valignano decided to build the St. Paul College and the cathedral, having Carlo Spinola as its architect. By the middle of the 18th century, another great Italian artist came to China, serving 3 Chinese emperors. His name is Giuseppe Castiglione. He brought linear perspective, visual depth, chiaroscuro, and also learned from the Chinese culture, embodying himself both traditions.
The Italian artistic presence in Hong Kong is nothing new and can be hidden in plain sight. For example, in Statue Square, the 2 fountains are from an Italian sculptor and ceramist, Antonio Casadei, and were unveiled in the 1960s. Casadei's works were all over town, in such public places as Statue Square, Princess Building, and Ocean Center. The Eastern culture had much influence on his creative work. In 1962, he designed for the Mandarin Hotel Pegasus, a stainless steel sculpture over 6 meters high, which used to stand in front of the hotel and now is permanently displayed in Meifu Shenzhen.
好似係突然間好似成棟樓停電咁樣，即係好似原本嗰一棟大廈運作得好暢順，好多嘢發生咁樣，突然間停電，咁有一晚咧或者有一日咧就大家一定要留喺度，出又出唔到，入又入唔到。
成個世界都會受影響嘅，咁就開始擔心啦。咁我就打俾 Michelle 同佢講，咁有冇 Plan B 啊？
我哋而家都係咧兩手準備啦。而家我哋當去得咁去，如果唔係咧就永遠都做唔到啦。我而家就係咁諗㗎。你到時真係唔得，你都冇計㗎。
COVID-19 struck in several waves, so there really was a lot of uncertainties. Hong Kong was probably better prepared because of our past experiences with bird flu and SARS, but it was still very terrifying. However, Italy was struck fast and hard. It was really disheartening. And soon it became apparent that there was a high possibility that the exhibition would be cancelled. And even if the artworks were coming here, we were not sure whether the exhibition would still be allowed to open.
The Medici family of bankers who had businesses all over Europe would have been very well aware of the danger of infectious diseases and of the need to implement measures to control those diseases. Ports like Venice and Genoa built lazzarettos, which were stations for incoming ships and maritime travelers. The word quarantine itself originates from quarantena, meaning 40 days in Venetian language. Does this sound familiar? I bet it does, because we have experienced a pandemic that has really affected the world for reasons I just mentioned for the past 2 years. And unfortunately, Italy was particularly hit by COVID at the start of the pandemic in 2020. And I'm really glad that in the face of all adversities, the Uffizi Gallery Museum could eventually send those priceless artwork here to Hong Kong. I'm sure that the public enjoy these masterpieces and hopefully will feel like traveling back in time to Florence and the splendor of the Italian Renaissance.
Every one of us, we have moments when we thought we were stalling, or when the world around us seemed to be stalling, and then we actually went through something and came out wiser, more balanced, and more optimistic. And this is also the metaphor of the Renaissance, which is named after the rebirth of ancient culture in the first place, but also the rebirth of a flourishing society of learning, which we have in Italy and especially in Florence in the 15th and 16th centuries. So therefore, it's something which we all have in our lives, which we can see, and especially now that we're really waiting for a new rebirth in a way, this also might inspire our thoughts and our approaches and also our minds in terms of the signs of optimism that come out of Renaissance philosophy.
At the HKMOA, our collection revolves around 4 core pillars: embracing Chinese traditional culture and Hong Kong contemporary art. This provides a solid foundation for the public to appreciate the Hong Kong legacy. Collaborating with museums worldwide also allows us to bring to our local audiences truly inspiring exhibitions. One of our blockbusters was the breathtaking Botticelli and His Times collections from the Uffizi.
This one is really magic. It's magic because there are more than 40 Renaissance paintings. Many of them, I would say the largest part of them, have never traveled outside Italy. It was a challenge, yes, but I think that we have been able to work very well with the local institution, with the Hong Kong friends.
意大利咧，其實嘅藝術展覽咧喺香港見到嘅唔多啦。佢哋呢啲頂級博物館咧要出外咧，其實都機會唔多，或者嗰個可能性都唔高嘅。咁今次其實 FIF 同藝術館嘅合作咧，其中一樣好重要嘅咧，都係佢會幫手做一啲教育同埋推廣嘅活動啦。
I quadri destinati alla mostra sono stati scelti per fare emergere le peculiarità della pittura di Botticelli nel campo della pittura della fine del Quattrocento, che è il periodo di massimo splendore di Firenze, della pittura fiorentina, dell'arte fiorentina.
Well, there are so many highlights in this exhibition. There are some works that have never left the Uffizi galleries before. There are others that have left the galleries but are still of extreme importance, such as the Adoration of the Magi with Botticelli's self-portrait in it. This is a truly iconic work, and it connects actually to another field of collecting that was started by the Medici, and that is that of artists' self-portraits. Botticelli is shown in an orange cloak, which would be highly unusual for a post-Renaissance time, but which is the color scheme which indeed was very fashionable at the moment. So this is one of the key subjects of Florentine Renaissance painting, and we have one of the key works in the exhibition for this period of time.
L'Adorazione l'ama è un quadro che ha fatto conoscere Botticelli. Il Vasari ne parla come di un capolavoro fatto non per i medici questo, ma per una famiglia che vuole avere un suo quadro da porre nella cappella di Santa Maria Novella. Però questo quadro fu quello che, a detta di Vasari, dello storiografo del Cinquecento che poi ha scritto le vite degli artisti, fu quello che gli fece avere addirittura la commissione della Sistina.
呢個人呢，呢個就係 Botticelli 自己嚟嘅，即係佢張畫入邊畫嗰時嘅佢。
And there is a self-portrait, we can call it a selfie, in the painting. And that's the only image we have of Sandro Botticelli. So this is quite unique.
While the COVID-19 pandemic kept growing around the world, Hong Kong's strict regulation kept the local situation under control. Social distancing policy was relaxed and events allowed to resume. From our team's very first meetings and through every aspect of preparation, we focused on the value of our initiative to the community. As the event grew closer, we worked daily to ensure the safety and health of everyone working on the event. Under the strict rules and supervision of the Hong Kong government, our COVID-19 prevention protocols were always at the forefront. We needed to be fluid, always prepared to accommodate the changing requirements related to any public gathering. We were committed to our charitable celebration event and to our educational program integral to the Botticelli exhibition. With less than 8 cases per day in Hong Kong in the 30 days prior to the event, we received the final official green light.
但我諗成件事，我哋似乎真係去到喎。呢一年來咧，個個都話唔會發生，唔會發生，冇可能。咁我已經係好跟 hold 㗎啦，我話唔理㗎，我係一於係當去得咁樣去嘅。咁到而家喂真係咯喎，講下仲有個幾月，好快啲時間。We have such a big party. This is the most exciting event. So basically, I want to introduce you guys the boss here. The director of the Museum of Art, Maria, so we will be working together as one team. Very big cocktail area.
Yeah. Number 2, number 3, number 4 works.
Okay. Done.
Very good.
Very efficient. Thank you so much, everyone. Sarah Heller 咧 ，actually 喺香港讀書嗰陣時，佢係最 youngest master of wine in Asia。又係specialized in Italian wines.
My responsibility really is picking the wine categories and styles that we want to have, making sure that the wine that we've sourced is up to the quality standards.
Raise funds 咁多年咧，咁我都好中意 involve chefs 嘅。第一，我中意食嘢啦；第二，我 have a lot of respect for chef 嘅，係擺咁多心機、咁多 years of training。就係同你煮嗰幾個鐘頭嘅飯，而係佢哋想都 reach 佢哋嘅 perfection， 所以我好 respect 佢哋嘅。
I tend to choose quality of food more than technique, and when you make a dish that the flavor of the ingredient you use come out beautiful and fulfill your mouth and give you great pleasure. This is what I want to achieve.
it was an event like no other we have ever done. We planned for the safe table placement and special partitions to ensure social distancing on the night, including our red carpet welcome for FIF supporters.
Good evening, patrons, sponsors, donors, and a warm welcome to our friends. It is wonderful that we are all able to gather here tonight to enjoy this very special evening celebration. I also thank FIF's Educational Outreach Committee for their tireless effort to accommodate all the last-minute changes leading up to this wonderful evening. I wish you all a most enjoyable and beautiful evening filled with fun, surprises, and the enduring wonder of all things Italian. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please kindly be seated. Thank you. Please be ensured that we take the pandemic precautions very seriously. So including myself and all of the guests who will come on stage later this evening, we have all voluntarily taken the COVID-19 test within 72 hours prior to this event. And all of our results are certified negative.
As community partner of this exhibition, we have worked with Hong Kong Museum of Art and Hong Kong LCSD to create interactive and inclusive experiences for the public to enjoy the museum. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Please be gentle, sentimental. Go ahead and try to give my cheek a pat. But be daring and very. When you catch a mouse, you taunt it like a cat.
We proudly welcome our donors and friends to a celebration of art and connectivity to benefit Hong Kong. Everlasting Wonder was inspired by both the beauty of Renaissance art and the resilience of the human spirit.
We strongly believe that museums are for everyone, and art should be fun. FIF is proud to have been the community partner of this 4-month-long exhibition. So, for this initiative, we designed a series of multifaceted programs aimed at captivating the imagination of adults and children alike. We offered exciting, empowering, and most importantly, fun experiences for the audience to engage with and discover art. We wanted to empower young and first-time visitors with tools to explore and approach art through fun and easy-to-understand content. So we produced What Am I Looking At? A free for public booklet designed by renowned local experts in the field of art and culture. This guide would transport visitors back in time to the Italian Renaissance and through interesting stories behind the portraits that were exhibited. Following the success and popularity of the engaging book sets we made for the Monet and Meet the T-Rex exhibition, we decided to also create a new one this time, along with our EOC committee members. We wanted to create this storybook to help children and families get familiar with the Botticelli and His Times exhibition. We realized that it could be a little intimidating to visit a museum, but even more so when we're talking about masterpieces from the 14th century. So we really hope to change this mindset through this initiative. This storybook not only offers children a different way to introduce the artworks, it also touches upon the importance of teamwork, exploration, curiosity, and friendship. And it was very beautifully illustrated by our local artist, Don Mack.
Every night when all museums around the world close, something magical happens. All the exhibits come to life.
我諗咗大個 storyboard 啦，咁我都係比較 visual 嘅人嚟，我亦都想即係表達到 museum 係一個 adventure 嘅一個地點，同埋一個有少少 mystery 嘅嘢。I think kids like that， 因為係成個 vein of 要去探索嗰個精神。我亦都想要係去 of course promote Hong Kong Museum of Art， 佢啲 pieces as well as 即係 Uffizi 而家嚟呢個 exhibition， 我就做咗一啲 research and see like what kind of angles like。Or characters could be interesting. 咁然後最撚尾揾咗呢隻野豬啦 ，which 我覺得都 resonate 嘅 with firstly 意大利 culture， as well as 我哋其實香港人都好熟悉野豬啦。喺 Hong Kong Museum of Art 咧，我都想揾一個 kind of a little mascot， 因為我覺得都幾緊要 to lead the kids 有個 narrative。
本身我哋係嗌佢做 children book 嘅，因為我係一個媽媽嘅關係，咁我就將我仔嗰啲圖書故事書拎咗出嚟，我就話我而家係有點讀筆嘅，咁跟住就 spark 咗個 idea 就話我不如我哋整一個 audio book 啦。
咁我喜歡呢本書係唔好話淨係想介紹俾我哋香港每一個朋友關於意大利一啲展覽或者一啲藝術作品咁簡單。同時喺呢本故事書亦都希望係將香港美好嘅事傳翻去唔同嘅地方、城市同埋國家。咁所以覺得其實音樂、藝術、影像呢啲知識文化其實係應該大家可以互相交流嘅。咁所以呢一個亦都係非常之好嘅起點咯。
即係希望啲人睇咗之後，佢哋都會 when they go to a museum 都會諗下如果夜晚黑係點啊，或者係 think about their own stories. I think that's the main point of the story.
In the meantime, F5 designed and organized an extensive array of art lab programs for visitors of every age. Experts across all fields planned a splendid array of fun, interactive, and engaging art labs with an Italian twist, ranging from music to science meets art sessions for kids, to coffee tastings and feng shui for adults. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19, most of the workshops were ultimately cancelled. To foster cultural exchanges, FIF not only helps to bring art and artists from overseas, but also actively promotes local artists. We work closely with local creatives by providing resources for them to fulfill their creative visions. To instill creative vibes in the art lab activity rooms, FIF invited two renowned local artists, Wilson Shi and Kong Ki.
佢哋喺Museum嘅呢個地牢咧，咁就會搞一啲 workshop 嘅，就想有一啲 decoration 或者作品，令到個環境可以令到啲人可以唔似好似喺地牢咁辛苦咁樣啦，可以見到出面嘅環境啦。咁所以我就揾咗一啲 work 咧係香港嘅 landscape 啦，同埋有少少因為個大展係文藝復興主題啊嘛，咁我有少少文藝復興意味，即係啲透視嘅感覺嘅構圖啊，或者嗰啲女仔啲頸扭曲到好似 Botticelli 咁樣啊，咁就揀咗一個 illustration 俾佢哋去 decorate 呢一埲牆咯。咁我見 lab 嘅活動其實好生活化嘅，其實係好親民嘅，幫到觀眾從佢哋嘅角度重新去認識文藝復興，即係成件事係將我哋以為藝術有陣時好殿堂、好離地嘅東西，可以拉近去生活一啲咯。
咁我覺得成個 world disconnect 咗，咁反而我就覺得 art 係一個好 important 嘅 medium for 一個 important tool to reconnect 翻啲人。art 係一啲係你可以去 understand 另一個人嘅諗法 ，without 有嗰種我要即係好似而家我 even 同你講嘢啦，即係嗰種 fear 或嗰種 judgment， 即係我覺得係一個好 safe， 即係你可以係用一個自己揾一個 safe space 去 understand， 去 stand 落人哋個角色去咯。
咁所以即文藝復興對於我嚟講咧，其實佢唔係一個好好有距離嘅東西嚟嘅，佢唔應該係一個擺喺Museum俾大家覺得佢係好遙遠嘅東西咯。如果佢嘅精神可以放到落嚟而家嘅世界嘅話，其實我哋而家就係好需要一個文藝復興嘅契機。
喺紙未發明、未廣泛應用去畫畫之前，其實用絹嘅，只不過係經歷咗千幾年之後，越嚟越少人用。咁我亦都係用毛筆嘅，因為毛筆係畫線啊、上色係好舒服嘅。咁咧就唯一就係顏料嗰度，我會用多啲係即係比較現代啲，可能用水彩啊、少廣告彩啊、塑膠彩，佢哋啲顏色比較穩定啲咯。咁但係咧，嗰啲黑色嗰啲地方咧，我都係有個墨硯，我都係磨墨，因為佢磨出嚟嗰啲墨咧，呢個傳統㗎，佢磨出嚟啲墨咧係好幼細，可以做到好透明，同埋可以做到好多層次嘅。中國咧係，即係我哋嗰個傳統咧係分咗兩個 class 㗎嘛，即係一個 upper class、lower class。大眾其實係佢真係好以前啊，好少機會會接觸 art。Museum佢哋喺歐洲或者美國，佢哋有200幾年歷史，即係佢哋好多個 generation 之前已經開始去即係 public museum、public gallery 睇 art。我哋而家身處呢間房就係藝術館地庫嘅工作室啦，咁所以佢嗰個設計就好簡單嘅啫，即係白牆，有啲工作台同埋有啲星盤洗嘢嘅。咁佢冇任何裝飾嘅。其實我喺20幾年前喺呢度工作過，咁我大概知道啲環境係點咯。咁呢間房好在咧，佢本身嘅牆咧就有啲木板嘅牆咧，就係本來要嚟係，譬如你畫咗啲畫可以即係用釘吉上牆嘅。咁因為我哋展覽係關於文藝復興啦，咁我所以諗翻歐洲佢哋嘅好多比較啲貴族嘅屋啦，咁佢哋好多時會用啲牆紙去裝飾。咁就總共有6張畫，全部都係香港嘅建築有關，就反映到香港嘅歷史。咁其實同佢哋歐洲頭先我講咧嗰啲掛氈都好有關係嘅。咁呢個都係少少掛鈎咗啲歐洲嘅傳統，但係佢又係同時有香港本地嘅特色嘅。咁呢個就我整個概念。
Visual art has always inspired me a lot. Actually, when I was really young, besides piano practicing, I enjoyed painting a lot. I did the watercolor painting and also the oil painting. There are still some paintings left at my home now from like 15 years ago. So I really think that sometimes, although the visual art, a painting is like a still image that doesn't move, but it has a lot of life to it. And I always imagine maybe there will be an opportunity where the visual art and the piano playing or classical music can work together. I think that would be very, very interesting.
Build more exchanges between Italy and Hong Kong. Just the other day, the Venice International Film Festival acknowledged, the career of director An Hui with a Lifetime Achievement Award. This is, a recognition of the place of Hong Kong in terms of, art and culture in the world stage. We built a 5-year program of cooperation between the Uffizi Galleries and LCSD. That means that this one is just the first exhibition of a number which we will see coming in the coming years here in Hong Kong.
The HKMOA has recently undergone a major revamping, and we have launched an ambitious series of programs. Hong Kong is not only a financial, trading, and traveling hub. We at HKMOA will bring exciting new programs to confirm its rightful place as a culture and art hub as well. I believe that entertaining while educating is the way to reach the community far and wide. Hands-on, heads-on, and hearts-on. FIF is committed to continue its various active engagement programs, and many new events are to be expected very soon.
Lo scambio culturale è importante perché favorisce la conoscenza fra i popoli e la conoscenza naturalmente porta a un miglioramento nei rapporti che ci possono essere fra anche varie e diverse civiltà.
香港人都好中意文化啦，好似我呢個會都成日搞好多文化活動啊，喺好多地方拎好多藝術品展覽啊，希望好多香港人去睇到啊，尤其是係年青人啦，所以我覺得呢啲文化我哋係應該要做。
咁我暫時望落去就啲作品都幾精嘅嚇，咁其實都係幾好嘅機會可以睇一啲即係出名嘅大師嘅其他嘅一啲好少見到嘅作品。
I really hope that whenever reasonably possible, this exhibition will inspire people to travel to Italy, to visit the Uffizi galleries in person, as well as all the other cultural jewels all around the world. And I really hope this gets the Hong Kong people to go out and discover our local art scene.
It is very important in a world like ours today to take these Italian Renaissance ideals and bring them into the 21st century.
Arts as a career is often looked down upon as if it was a non-essential, a sort of luxury. But during this pandemic, particularly for those who were or still are in quarantine or in lockdown, trying to imagine going through it without books, without music, without films, etc., this would not seem like a life worth living, right? So yes, more than ever, we need arts.